Hello, Flosstube. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome here or welcome back. This is Crossroad Stitching. I am Robin. And this is your used to be, wants to get back to being weekly video about cross stitch, some life stuff, and a whole lot of weird. And it's me. I'm the weird. Um, I've been going for about a month now, I think, maybe a little longer, and it wasn't intended to be such. I got sick one weekend. I had like a weather change cold or whatever, and so then the next week I sat down to film, and my voice still sounded absolutely awful, just because it had not recovered from coughing and sneezing. The third week I filmed it, but didn't upload it because like my lighting kicked out or my app wasn't kicking over to record my subtitles. And then last week I recorded, and I just hated every bit of it. Being my own worst critic is starting to get to me, and I may have to just start posting these things kind of raw without captions, which sucks because I want captions in my videos, because I know that there are a lot of people out here who rely on the captions when they're watching videos, so I'm trying to be mindful of that. But it is Easter Sunday, which I think is the 8th of April. We've got a whole lot to go over. Mostly because I haven't gone over anything in forever. We'll start with my most recent acquisitions, which were needle minders from Needle Attractions. I got this cute little guy. And I got these two. This is all of the Sanrio, not all of the Sanrio characters, but a lot of them. There's Tuxedo Sam, there's Batsmaru, there's Cimarol, there's Little Twin Stars, there's Kuromi, there's My Melody, there's Hello Kitty, there's Keroppi, and there's Pachacho, I think is what his name is. And then the other one is the Sailor Moon, and it's got Sailor Pluto as the lone outer scout. The outer scouts are my favorite of the Sailor Scouts. Did not need you to attach yourself. You're just very clearly going to do what you want. Got it. Alright. So, that is Super Fancy Pasheen. That is Tubbs from Neko Atsume, which is a phone game where you basically just put out stuff for cats, let them come, let them play, and then you can get like little postcards from them and little mementos from them, and it's literally just a way to be a crazy cat lady, whether you can actually physically have cats or not. And then this was the last one of the ones that I ordered, and then I got a mystery bag, and I'll show you that in a second. So I got a Baby Yoda that says, he protect, he attack, he snacks. Sorry, he protects, he attacks, he also takes naps. And then this one is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I haven't really seen very much Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy stuff out there, so that was very nice to see. I got a wooden needle minder mystery bag for like $6, I think, which is really reasonable. And these are the ones that I got. And so it's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And then there's this lovely sassy lady with some thread. And then, of course, it's Casablanca. And then we have the Santa, and he looks like he'd be textured, but he's just plain wood. And then this is the Little Golden Books Peter Pan. So I got all that from Needle Attractions, which is a needle minder group in Facebook, and she basically just puts up albums, and you buy out of the album, and they're all reasonably priced, but I can easily like lose $50 in needle minders very, very quickly. I did just get my hair done yesterday, and then today we had Easter dinner with my partner's family. We went out to a Asian food restaurant. It's Jackie's Galaxy, and it's very, very good, and it was very, very busy, and we love going there. It's always nice. We got the chicken satay skewers, which were new on the menu, and we've had them at other places before. Alright, we're going to go through the rest of my I need to be grounded purchases. I'll show you what the whips are. I'll try and remember what got called for this month for WhipGo, and we will continue there. Alright, so from... Alright. So my Nashville market order came in, and it is probably the biggest reason on why I'm grounded. I got this and a needle minder, but the needle minder has since fucked off. There is a good chance I put it on a project and don't remember which project, but it is this lovely tea needle minder that will not stop wiggling no matter what I do. It's just very, very pretty. And I've already put it on a pair of scissors. Like, I wasted no time in putting that scissor fob on scissors. I did get the frog needle minder that says Live, Laugh, Frog, because the frog is such a constant companion here at my home. I thought that it would be adorable if I just, got the Live, Laugh, Frog needle minder. I, of course, now can't find it. This is about standard. So, patterns. I got the Black Crow from Tiny Modernist. Pretty much if you put a crow or a raven or an owl or a dragon on something, I will most likely buy it. And that's going to become real apparent in like 2 patterns. So I got Civil Samplers. The big middle one says The Caged Bird Sings of Freedom. The one over here is Never Be Afraid to Make Some Noise and Get in Some Good Trouble, Necessary Trouble, and the one with the flowers is If They Don't Give You a Seat at the Table, Bring a Folding Chair. That is done by Rebel Stitcher Designs. It is called their Civil Samplers. They also had another one that was like, there was once somebody, and they told the man to, there was a woman, and she told the man to go fuck off and lived happily ever after. I almost got that one too, but I chose not to. Alright, we got the CC bookmarks. These are put out by Art Mishka Cross Stitch. And they were sold by Dinky Dyes because I believe that they use a lot of Dinky Dyes colors. But I'm hoping to stitch some more bookmarks because I have a lot of friends and I am also an avid reader. So I thought that it would be kind of neat to stitch some bookmarks. I got this one, which I believe was retired in 2017 or something and brought back out. This is Gwendolyn Place Butterfly Bliss. And it does have a lot of beads in it. And that's going to be super fun. And then I have Ingleside Imaginarium. I loved a lot of the stuff they came out with. This is Draven's Flight. And it is a combination between a raven and a dragon. And they do use, the rest can be subbed out for DMC. Actually, the rest of it is stitched in DMC. But there is one Threadworks thread, and it's called Rocky Mountain. And it's meant for certain spots in the raven. Because in every, either raven or crow, they have these little patches that look like almost oil shining off of them. It's really kind of cool. This is Dragon's Blood. Like I said, if it has a dragon, if it has a raven, if it has a crow, if it has an owl, I also got this one from Dinky Dyes. I do believe that it was supposed to be used. Yeah, it does have a Dinky Dyes silk listed. Now, what I find really cool about this one is that it says over 28 count. On 28 count over 2, finished size would be 16.5 inches, and it would require 8 skeins. On 30 count, it would be 15 inches and require 8 skeins. On 32 count, it would be 14.5 inches and require 5 skeins. And on 36 count over 2, it would be 12.75 inches and would require 5 skeins. The design can be stitched over 1, such as on Ada, but it will be more intense on tighter fabrics. I will not be stitching that on 36 anything. I got another one from Gwendolyn Place. This one is Friendship Compass. More beads. Okay, so I did get the Tea Time flosses from, I believe, Trinway Silks. Yep, so it's a stitch along. It's the Tea Time Sal, and there were about probably like 5 or 6 patterns. So these are the Trinway Silks for all of the Tea Time patterns. So basically, if they submitted a pattern that was a tea time pattern, they can be stitched with these silks. And I only got 2 of the tea time patterns, but I will probably wind up buying more of the tea time patterns because there were a couple that I missed. And I'm really just a tea snob, walking around in a human's body. So my 2 tea time pieces that I did get were the Ingleside Imaginariums, Tea Time Companion. Yes, Tea Time Companion. I cannot hold things today. Tea Time Companion, and they are meant to be used with the Trinway Silks Tea Time palette. And it's just a dragon curled up around a pot of tea with a cup of tea there. When one of my partners saw that I had gotten a bunch of tea stuff and the tea things, they're like, "You're really entering your Uncle Iroh era." Uncle Iroh era. Which Uncle Iroh is from Avatar: The Last Airbender, the first one, not Legends of Korra. And he was the wise old uncle who was always making tea, who said that, nothing couldn't be solved with a good cup of tea. Made his own tea shop at some point in the show. It was on Nickelodeon, but it was half for kids and half for adults. So this is the Quo Tea Bowl. This one's by Works by ABC. And it's got 2 patterns in here. And it is a cup of tea is a cup of peace. And then the other one is there is no trouble so great or grave that cannot be much diminished by a cup of good tea. And so, yeah, I really, really think that I am hitting my Uncle Iroh era. I did get the Happiness is Homemade cookbook that has things like the shaker lemon pie, which is both the ingredient, the recipe card, and the cross stitch. But it also has like I can't fail pie crust, or best cake frosting ever, and then it's got like a little vintage Christmas tree. It's got Nana's cold tea cake, and it's got a little tea rose. And my personal favorite is sorry for what I said when I was hungry. So I had to get that. I thought it was a really cool take on a lot of things, that you could just get and I'm doing that thing again. I'm doing the thing where I put this back in first, because it's usually the first one I grab, because like I said, I have filmed this 4 times by now. And, I keep shoving all the other patterns down into this one, like so. And I'm trying not to do that because I don't want to break it. And now I have to pull everything out and put it all back in again, or I will never find it again. It's bad enough that my house has already eaten my needle minder. Just because I ordered more doesn't mean you can take this one. Let's get the Happiness is Homemade in here. We're going to put this one spine up so I can stop sticking things down into it. Alright, so back to the patterns. We also got Lucy Beam, Lovin' Stitches, Immortal, Buying Cross Stitch Like I'm Immortal. When a pattern calls you out, I believe that you are honor bound to buy it. Just that simple. I got this one, which is by Bendy Stitchy, and it's the pendulum board. And it says yes, no, maybe rephrase. And it's got the moon phases on there. And I'm really hoping that that is a little butterfly, because if that is a little moth, it will not be hung up in my house ever at any time, because my partner is terrified of moths. You remember how I just said if a pattern calls you out, you're just kind of like honor bound to buy it? Well, this is another one. This one is by Puntini Designs, and it says, just one more chapter and other lies I tell myself. And then I got this one. And the only thing better than stitching is Stitching with Friends by the Little Stitch Girl. This is the one that got my partner in a ton of hot water, because when I was showing him my adorable Nashville haul and expecting him to be excited for me or with me, anything, he's like, but you have to have friends to cross stitch with for that to work. I'm like, I'm going to StitchCon. I'm going to be sitting in a room with 300 friends and cross-stitching. He's like, yeah, but you don't cross-stitch here with 300 friends. You're right, because I like maybe 5 people in my entire state, and you're one of them. So that's all that I bought at Nashville Market. I would have bought more. I should have bought more. But I should also be grounded. I got this as a freebie. I can show this one to you because most of the design is covered. It is called the Back to School Biscornu, and I have several teacher friends in my life that I'm going to try and make that for. And the other one that I'm going to show you is available to be shown and reprinted, but literally we got like a fat stack of freebies. And this one says reproduction of this chart for free distribution is allowed. I'm hoping that means that I can show it on camera, but it is this, which is like the Loch Ness Monster, and I have already started stitching on that, and it is here. Rude. And I'm stitching it with this really cute rainbow floss. It's got the Believe in Yourself Loch Ness Monster pin, and just some really pretty, I believe the name of the fabric is Galaxy, but to me it's just got that really pretty blue and purple watery kind of look. So, working on that. And I'm also working on we'll go back into haul mode in a moment. This, and you cannot really see what it is, and I can't show you what it's going to look like when it's finished, because that is my small for StitchCon. Assuming I don't get mad at myself and not stitch it or not give it away because I don't think it's good enough. There have been multiple conversations had about this. Yeah, buddy. I may have mentioned in the cross stitch chat Discord, where I hang out with all of my other cross stitch friends, where I found out about StitchCon and Flosstube and all of these things. That I wanted to stitch a small for StitchCon, but I didn't think that my stitching was good enough. And out came 3 of my good friends from that server, people who I absolutely adore dearly, all coming out swinging, going, "That is my friend's stitching you're talking about, and I will not listen to you talk badly about it." And I'm like, crap. So, alright. So, several of my friends immediately pounced on me and told me to stop disrespecting their friend's stitching. And while they're not wrong, and it's probably the only way to get me to stop disrespecting my own stitching, but that is what I am stitching for the StitchCon Small. Here's hoping I don't talk myself out of it yet again. This last bit of haul that I have is from, and this is the thread that I'm stitching it with. This last bit of haul that I have is from Live and Die LA. I believe these were their February colors. I can't remember. I really want to say they were, just because of the colors that they are. So this is Steel Orchid. And I got 25 yards of that. I don't typically go for pinks, but that one's just a really pretty one. I love this one more than I love probably either of the other ones. I should have gotten more of this one. But this one's Valentina. And I love the grays and the pinks, the kind of grungy pinks. I am not going to have a wedding with Blush and Bashful. I may be a person who has a wedding with black and pastel black, or Pirates of the Caribbean black kind of thing. This is Coral, and it's 10 yards. And again, I don't typically go for corals, but this one's really, really pretty, and so I couldn't resist. So this is Neutrality. And it is 1/4 of a yard, and it's just this nice kind of gray-green neutral, and I'm fine with that. And then I'm probably pretty... I know I need more neutrals, because 80% of what I have is stuff like this, not pink. But this is called The Wrong Dress, and it was... Valerie said that it was inspired by the pink dress that people try and put Cinderella in, even though primarily her dress is blue. And every time I see that, and every time I see the pink dress for Cinderella, all I can really think of is the part where they're like, the 2 fairies are fighting with each other to make it pink, make it blue, make it pink, make it blue. And so that was just super awesome. And then the last piece of fabric I got from them was The Child, which is from Val, dedicated to the child, aka Grogu, aka Baby Yoda from The Mandalorian. This little thing owns my entire personality. We didn't know his name for the first season and a half. I think we were halfway through the 2nd season before we found out his name. And so everybody's like, well, what do we call him? And he is the same race of people as Yoda, but he's a baby. So a lot of people were calling him Baby Yoda, and then when we found out what his name actually was, that's a whole nother story. But I have probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Baby Yoda things in my house, not including clothing. And no, 12. And then I have, not including needle minders either, because I would put it at 15. And then I have 3 at work. So I have a card that my partner got me for Valentine's Day that has Baby Yoda on it that made me literally cry. And then I have a little like Hot Wheels car that has Baby Yoda in it. And then I have a carved labradorite or labradorite. I hate saying the whole name, so I just call it Labs. But it's usually pretty dark and it has like a green or a purple reflect on it. Um, but I have a carved Mandalorian helmet and a carved Baby Yoda, and they sit with my carved amethyst owl on my desk to hopefully encourage some good communications and productivity. Will they work? I don't know. But stranger things have happened, so we're just gonna go with it. Um the whip goes for this month are the Stitch book. I know the ones that got called for me were the Stitch book and Black Snake, which is a piece that I was doing a while ago. And it was before I got any of my cool programs. So I had done like a couple rows on it, but then I was like, I can't really tell where I'm at. I didn't have a physical pattern printed out. I was just operating off a PDF and just kind of winging it. Obviously, sorry about that. Obviously, that was before I really got Pattern Keeper and everything else. So I just decided to restart it. So I only wanted to have 25% of the Black Snake done. Restarting it seemed easier than trying to figure out where I was. And the other one was the little Stitch book that I got as a surprise me kit from StitchCon last year. And I think I have already put it in my backpack for when I go back to work. Because that's a lot of times the only time I get to stitch. And I may wind up taking my headphones and listening to the audiobook of Gideon the Ninth, which I'm doing for the Witchy Stitcher Patreon Discord's book club, so that I can stitch and read instead of stitch or read. So what I'm working on for WhipGo are the Stitch book and the Black Snake. What I'm also working on is my Small for StitchCon and the cute little Loch Ness Monster. I did see the Mario movie. Did see the Mario movie this week because I am an old school Mario fan. Like, I was playing the original Nintendo when original Mario came out. It was super fun. So we went. There were obviously a lot of kids in the show because Mario is still a super popular kids franchise. At the show, rather. It was cute. It was funny. No, it didn't have a whole lot of a plot. But it was a Mario movie. It wasn't supposed to. So it's just it's been a fun and interesting kind of month. I am looking forward to StitchCon. I am panicking about StitchCon because I still haven't booked my flight. I do know I'm in the late night stitching room hotel, which I believe is the Drury Inn. No idea why I'm so tired right now. Cannot tell you. We had a nice Easter lunch, late dinner with Anthony's family. Got my hair done yesterday. Basically got to talk to one of my closest friends who also happens to be my hairdresser. It's really cool. And we filmed a couple of funny TikToks because, I was like 5 minutes late, but I was getting Starbucks, so I was allowed to be 5 minutes late. And so she turned around and she started a TikTok that was like, when one of your favorite clients is a few minutes late, and so she's looking out the window for me, and I'm standing at the door with the 2 Starbucks going, I'm over here! Super cute. And then she did one where she was rinsing out my hair because when you do Vivids, you have to wash in cold water. So when she lightens me and lifts me is the last time I get to feel actual hot water on my scalp. And so when she rinsed me out for my Vivids, we wound up doing cold water, and we did a TikTok where it was like, can we skip to the good part? And she was like, I'm like, can we skip to the good part? And she's like, no. And then it's the fun part about TikTok is that you can take pre-made audios and then add your own videos, and it adds to the collective fun of the audio. And that's what we did with that, because I would love to skip to the good part. When it comes to rinsing out my hair in cold water, that never happens, but I would love it nonetheless. I think that's really all that's been going on. The last 4 times I've tried to film this has been a 45-minute ordeal. How I'm trimming it down this low, I have no idea. That's really all I have to talk about. I'm sorry if the lights are wonky tonight. It's just so late at night, and I'm not getting any light from behind the backdrop back there, which basically just covers up my janky blinds. Work has been wild. I'm hoping it will settle down at some point in time. We have hired a couple new people, so I'm hoping that the distribution of tickets will even out a little bit more. Still trying to plan out how to go to StitchCon. I don't have to worry about PTO. I will have enough time for that. I'm already pretty much at where I need to be, and the Monday after StitchCon is actually a work holiday, which means I don't have to use PTO for that, and I can literally just fly back in either the Sunday or the Monday and recover before I have to be back at work. And there's still a good chance that I will wind up working from home most of the week that I come back from StitchCon, because yeah, I'm going to be dealing with the post-con crash. Other than that, I haven't been stitching as much as I should. I'm hoping that I can get at least some done tonight on anything. I have been using my planner more again. I bought stickers for it, and they're super cute, and I'm hoping that they get me back into using my planner on a more regular basis. Oh, I did get the Saga cross stitch program, which is a program like Pattern Keeper, only a little bit more detailed. You can do like fractional stitches and beading and stuff like that. So I did get that. It is like Pattern Keeper, it is a one-time purchase, so you purchase it one time and then you have access to it on every Android device that you have. And I'm still learning how to use it, so we're still in the beginning phases of that, but I do have a lot of my Nashville market patterns converted over onto Saga, mostly because someone else is converting them, and they're giving them to me because they know what I bought from Nashville Market. One, because I shared the screenshots, or I shared the haul pictures when they came in, and two, because they were in the same group as me, watching me comment on everything, so they know almost as much. They know almost as much of what I have as they know of what they have. I still have to figure out what I want to finish for StitchCon. I think I know that I want to ring the bell for palmistry, which I started in an attempt to finish it before StitchCon last year. Never rang that bell. I may also start a JBW design that I got at StitchCon last year, although I'm mad at most of them. So there's that. And I definitely have to figure out what's going to be my StitchCon start. But for right now, I am grounded. I am on a no-buy. I am on a low-buy in a desperate attempt to have enough money to spend at the annex at StitchCon. Although I did buy the Under the Sea Fabrics mermaid box. I love mermaids. It's going to be 4 fully kitted patterns. It was really hard to refuse that one. So when that gets in, I'll definitely show that off, but I think that's a long time coming. I don't think I'm getting a Pride box this year just because I missed the window for Live and Die LA's Pride box, and I have to see if anybody else is going to run a Pride box, because that's the only thing that I would allow myself to buy other than stuff at StitchCon is I would definitely buy Pride stuff, because I if you put a rainbow on it, I'm going to buy it. It's pretty much how that works. So, I think that's everything that I have. I do hope you guys have a great week. I am hopeful to be back, and I am hopeful to stick with it this time. Like I said, I am filming on Easter Sunday. Fingers are crossed that I get it uploaded on Easter Sunday. And I wish you guys a good week. I hope you guys have a great week. Happy stitching. May the frog never find you. I am going to do my best to keep him at this house, tied up in my basement. I will talk to you guys hopefully next week.